Aiden was born on November 23rd, 2008, and gosh, this is harder than I thought. We noticed that he was leaning quite a bit when he was first born. His neck was leaning to the right, and he couldn't turn his neck at all to the left. And what we were told was that he got stuck in my pelvis, and because the labor was so hard and my contractions weren't coming, that he was stuck, and which is why that caused his neck to, I guess, basically it pulled a muscle in his neck. Where the muscles were torn, there was a huge nodule on the baby's neck, and you could actually, when he was smaller and a lot thinner, you could feel it, and you could see it. It just protruded out of his neck. And it was massive. And over time, the nodule has slowly began to, as Doc was, doing what he did, slowly began to go away. And now the nodule is completely gone. You don't feel it at all, which is wonderful. That was something that was one of my main concerns. I was always asking Doc, what about this huge lump on his neck? Is this going to go away? Because how is this going to go away? I don't understand. Can you explain it to me? And he explained it to me as he was doing it, and it actually disappeared. I didn't think that it would go away. And it's completely gone now, which is great. And they told us that because my pelvis was so small and the baby, even though he wasn't that big, just because the labor was so long, he actually was stuck in my pelvis and it tore his neck muscle. That's what they told us. It kind of made me feel like it was my fault, which was hard for me. I blame myself for a lot of it for a long time, and I felt so horrible looking at this little baby. He couldn't turn his neck, he was in pain. And when Doc explained to me kind of how, the torticollis, it wasn't my fault. It was actually from when I was giving birth, how rough the doctors were. When they pulled him out, they actually tore his neck muscle. And it was a huge relief to me because I didn't feel so guilty about it. I didn't feel like it was my fault because I really beat myself up for a long time. So that was also reassuring to me. Due to the what they called it was torticollis. Due to the torticollis, he was very colicky. We had a lot of problems with him in the beginning, especially the first few months. The first month before, I think it was about a month before we started seeing Doc, they recommended physical therapy through Kaiser. And the physical therapist was having us turn his neck, twist his neck, things like that, and he was just not having any of it. He cried, he didn't like it, and we tried for quite a while, and she said, originally they told us that we would see results right away because he was so, his neck muscles and everything were so flexible that we would see results right away, and it ended up that we weren't seeing any results or improvements after about a month. And after nights of endless crying, and you could see that clearly he was in pain, he was having trouble twisting and turning his neck, he was always leaning. Just seeing our little baby in such pain, we decided to go to Doc. And I was skeptical at first because I'd never been to a chiropractor and just really didn't think that it was going to work. We started seeing Doc about a month after the baby was born, and it took a while, a lot of slow, workings with the baby. I was really afraid at first because my image of a chiropractor was somebody that was just going to wrench my child's neck and twist it, and make it just a really painful experience. But Doc was very gentle. The baby took to him right away. It was really great. It was very comforting to, basically entrust my child into Doc's arms because he was very gentle and soothing, and the baby never cried once, actually. So we started seeing results, I would say, I don't know, about probably within maybe a week or two. It started to change around. He started to be able to tilt his head how he was supposed to, and he was also able to slowly turn his neck. We've been going to Doc for, the baby is 8 months now, so we've been going to Doc for 7 months, and as you can see, He holds his head straight. He has no problem turning his head to either side. This kid is so much happier now. Once he started to be able to turn his neck and to do things that he should be able to do with his neck, he soon after, I mean, he was crawling at 6 months, pulling himself up on things. I mean, it just seemed to just boost him physically. I mean, his neck started to really, I mean, I think the nodule was gone by, I would say, maybe 5 months, something like that. And soon after that, he was sitting up, he was crawling, he was doing everything that he should be doing, and sooner than I thought. And he's happy as can be. So we are really glad that we went to Doc, and I feel like he's a lifesaver, and he gave us our little baby back.